A lot of creators think they can just upload their cartoon to YouTube and people will magically find it. They spend years making their pilot and then they give themselves a week or sometimes just a day to tell people it exists. That's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Your launch doesn't start on premiere day. It starts weeks beforehand. Episode 2 of Strawberry Vampire premieres on August 15th. So I thought it'd be fun to bring you along and show you exactly what we're doing to build excitement leading up to it. I honestly don't know if every idea is gonna work.
I don't know!
But we're about to find out together.
Hit it! Oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm the creator of Strawberry Vampire, and over the last year, I've basically been documenting what it's actually like trying to build an independent animation studio from scratch. One thing I've learned is a launch isn't really just a day. It's more like putting on a little event or a festival. You don't just open the gates and hope people magically show up. You build anticipation. You invite people in. You give them reasons to get excited. You keep reminding them that something fun is just around the corner.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
So I thought I'd bring you along for our episode 2 launch and share everything we're doing along the way. Plus, plenty of tips you can steal for your own cartoon release. Maybe it'll spark some ideas for your own project. Or maybe you'll just get to watch me experiment in real time. Either way, welcome aboard. I think one mistake creators make, and I've definitely done this, is waiting until the last minute to tell people something is coming. You spend months, years making a project, and then give people a 4 days notice. That's a really bad idea, because you're basically just shooting yourself in the foot. You want to give yourself the absolute best chance of getting people to watch your indie pilot or project. And if you're only announcing it at the last second, you're throwing away one of your biggest opportunities to build excitement beforehand. Instead, I wanted this episode 2 announcement to feel like an event. I wanted fans to have something they were excited to share. Because people can't really spread the word if you don't give them anything to spread. Every repost, every share, every person who sends it to a friend, that's another chance for somebody to discover your show.
Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! I want all of you to look at it!
Tip 2, let fans be part of it. One thing I absolutely love about indie animation is that audiences don't have to stay audiences anymore. They can become collaborators who help shape and strengthen a growing fan ecosystem. This Friday, we're releasing a clip of the song Different from episode 2. And then next Monday, we're opening signups for something I'm ridiculously excited about, a MAP. If you've never heard of one before, MAP stands for Multi-Animator Project. Basically, artists from all over the world each animate one shot of the song animatic, and then a few months later, they'll all get stitched together into one collaboration. I got really excited about this idea after watching projects like Saber Sparks' Over the Garden Wall reanimated collaboration. Seeing hundreds of artists interpret the same scene in completely different ways. It was just so cool. The styles are all so unique, and I love that it showcases animators of different experience levels. So I started thinking it would be really, really cool to celebrate Strawberry Vampire that way too. We also thought it would be a great way to, drumroll please, build momentum for the launch of episode 2. Animators will have about 3 months to complete their shots. I think it's going to be something really special. And if you're an animator at any level and want a chance to be a part of it, signups open this Monday, July 20th. Don't sweat it if you're a beginner. This project is just about having fun.
It's about fun.
What's that?
And about having fun. If you'd like help developing your own indie animated show, I wrote a book on animated show development that has taken the animation community by storm. No cap. My book, A Guide to Developing Animated Shows, walks through the development process step by step. It's a comprehensive resource you can come back to again and again. Another tip, find your people. Something else I've learned over the last year, marketing doesn't actually start when your project comes out. And it's not always just about ads. It starts when you become a part of a community, especially when you don't have a marketing budget to speak of. One of my favorite things that's happened because of YouTube has been getting to know so many incredible indie creators. I've gotten to share panels with creators like Kiana Kahn-Smith, the team behind Star Forest, Pietro Scito of Write for Animation, and Eric Calderon of Surviving Animation at various animation festivals. Saberspark interviewed me ahead of the last Strawberry Vampire Kickstarter, and we've stayed in touch ever since. This week I interviewed Alvaro Calmet, creator of Run Monster Run, for my Substack, and I found we share a lot of the same ideas about storytelling and building original IP. And just recently, after I featured the new indie pilot, Next Friday, Magical Meow Meow, one of its creators reached out to tell me they were inspired to make the series after seeing me speak at Toughy and discovering Strawberry Vampire. That kind of thing means the world to me because I feel horrible for animation grads finishing school only to find the industry is a barren wasteland. And I want to show them there are exciting new ways of doing things now, of making stuff. A rising tide really does lift all boats. If we want indie animation to become a sustainable industry, we can't hoard what we've learned. We have to share it, support each other, and help the next wave of creators succeed. Those friendships mean so much more than analytics. When episode 2 gets closer, I'll definitely be reaching out to friends and seeing if they'd be willing to help spread the word. Because that's just what we do. We support one another.
That's a friend, Bert. A pal. Not minding. That's what friends are for.
I think that's one of the coolest things about the indie animation community. People genuinely want to see each other succeed, as long as they're doing it in a nice way. Tip 4, think beyond the internet. So one thing I kept asking myself was, how do we make the premiere feel like an actual event and not just another YouTube upload? That's where Moonbridge Donuts comes in. They're a super cute, creative little donut shop in Long Beach, California that specializes in themed donuts collaborations for animated shows and other special events. One of the reasons I was so excited to work with them is because they've already done these incredible themed collaborations for The Amazing Digital Circus, Animal Crossing, and Over the Garden Wall. So when they reached out about making Strawberry Vampire donuts, I was immediately on board. They're creating themed donuts inspired by the show. And on August 15th, the day of the premiere, I'll be there from 10 a.m. until noon doing a meet and greet. We'll be eating adorable Strawberry Vampire themed donuts and enjoying each other's company, while animation fans are hopefully catching the premiere on YouTube. Maybe somebody comes because they heard about the donuts. Maybe they discover the show while they're there. Maybe somebody who's already a fan gets to meet other fans. We'll create delicious memories together. And I think people remember experiences a lot longer than they remember seeing one social media post. Tip 5, keep giving people new reasons to care. One thing I'm trying really hard not to do is announce everything all at once. Instead, we're trying to space everything out. Announcement artwork, the song release, the map, behind the scenes posts, the donut collaboration. Because each one gives people another reason to think, yeah, episode 2 is almost here. You're not repeating yourself. You're politely refusing to let the internet forget your project exists. You're building momentum. So will all this work? Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe, maybe not. But I'd rather try something memorable than quietly upload a video and hope the algorithm figures everything out for me. None of these ideas are really about beating the algorithm. They're about celebrating something that our little team poured hours of their lives into making. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting people to know it exists. And one last tip. Make premiere day on YouTube feel like an event. The fun doesn't start at 10 a.m. when the episode premieres. We're actually gonna go live here on YouTube at 9:30 a.m., about half an hour before the premiere. We'll hang out, answer questions, probably I'll be a little nervous, or at least I will. And then we'll count down to episode 2. I love premieres because everybody experiences something for the first time at the same time. You don't get many opportunities like that anymore. So if you'd like to celebrate with us, Episode 2 of Strawberry Vampire premieres August 15th. Come hang out during the live stream at 9:30 a.m., then we'll all count down to the premiere together. I genuinely think this is the best episode we've made so far, and I can't wait for you to see it. It's also a whopping 19 minutes. So why is this one so much longer? Simple, because it's YouTube, and there are no rules. That's the freedom of all this. And if you're making your own indie project, I'd love to hear what you're doing to build excitement before it comes out. Leave it in the comments. Who knows, maybe we'll all steal a few good ideas from each other. See you on August 15th.